Okay, shalom everybody and boker tov. Good morning from the Holy Land. It very well might not be morning where you are. It very well may be evening or night or somewhere around the world, but we are wishing you a boker tov, a good morning from the land of Israel. Boker tov. Do you know how to say boker tov? Boker, boker tov. Boker tov, good morning. Good morning from the land of Israel. Shalom. It's Yishai Fleischer. I'm going early here. I'm going live early from the Holy Land to talk with you about what's going on in the land of Israel. I want to thank my producer Yo for being up with me as well, and we're pushing it. We got a lot of news, a lot of issues to discuss with you today. So let's start first with a video about Mamdani from one of Israel's most celebrated Arab affairs analysts. So Mamdani is this guy, this young guy who is now the new mayor of New York City. New York City being a very Jewish city, maybe the heart of American Judaism. Not maybe, for sure, the heart of American Judaism, Jewry. And there's a big change. There's a big change that has come into this world, and that is that this mayor, who is socialist communist, that's one side of him. The other side is that he's pro Palestine, anti-Israel, has said publicly that he would love to arrest Netanyahu. If that's true or not, it's not important. What's important is that this guy is anti. Now, why is that important? Because the biggest city of Jews outside of the land of Israel is New York City in the world, right? And this city is now taken over by a guy who is pro-jihad. And there's amazing videos. Yo, I forgot to have that video of the Muslim prayer around New York after the victory of Mamdani. If you could get that, that would be nice. But in any case, one of our most celebrated Arab affairs analysts, his name is Tzvi Cheskeli. He actually lives close by to me. And this is what he had to say to American Jews, to New Yorkers, and to New York.
All the New Yorkers, and good luck with your new mayor. My name is Tzvi Cheskeli, and I warned before years ago that the quiet jihad, the political Islam, going to conquer all over the world, especially in the West. And now it's happened in New York. Less than 3 decades after the 9/11, when the aircraft hits the Twin Towers, now the mayor of New York is a Muslim. What's happened? This is the way of the quiet jihad of Qatar, of Turkey, of the Muslim Brotherhood. They investing in the public, in the streets, in the social media, with the Palestinian flag in Columbia University. They supporting the Palestinians, but the real power is to establish the Islam in the United States. Look what happened in Dearborn. Look what's going to be in Virginia, and what's happened already in London and in Germany. Now you can see the weakness of democracy. This is your democracy. Even the Jews that elected anti-Semitic mayor that he hates the IDF soldiers. He's not a Zionist, and he said that he's a communist. It's called in the Islam taqiyya. He's hiding behind the headlines of I'm a communist, not a communist and nothing. This is the Muslim Brotherhood. This is a quiet jihad. And remember these days, and in my opinion, the one who is watching the Middle East for 30 years, you're going to be regret.
Oh, sorry about that. That was a very powerful video from Tzvi Cheskeli. And he's saying, listen, I told you, these guys are very serious the way that they operate. One of the things that I think is a big problem amongst Jews and amongst people in general, like conservatives, people on the right, for some reason, I don't know why, but we take our enemies for granted. I'm not sure why that is. We just take our enemies for granted. We think that they're not serious. And what Tzvi Cheskeli is saying is like, look, Qatar and Turkey are actually working very seriously. The way that they operate is a totally different way. The way that they operate. Here's some of the prayers that we were talking about that happened in New York City after Mamdani got elected.
We're done being tortured and hurt and judged
Let's see that from the beginning. Hold on one second, my friends.
We're done hiding. We're done. We're done being tortured and hurt and judged. This is the correct religion. This is the religion that all of humanity needs to be a part of, Islam. And we will not stop until it enters every home. So I want you to repeat after me. I want to hear it in every single district. It should tremble. Brooklyn should hear it. The Bronx should hear it. Queens should hear it. Say it as if the Ummah depends on this, my brothers and sisters. La ilaha illallah. There is no God worthy of worship except Allah, the God of Jesus, the God of Moses, the God of Abraham, and the God of the last and final Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Okay, so basically, New York is in for a big change, and that means that American Jews are in for a big change, which actually means that Judaism or Jewry is in for a big change, which actually means that Israel's in for a big change. And in fact, interestingly enough, coinciding with this very thing, the Israel's finance minister has announced, Bezalel Smotrich announced, together with the minister of Aliyah, which means immigration to Israel, Ophir Sofer, they have just unveiled a revolutionary plan. New immigrants to Israel, Jewish new immigrants, and returning residents will pay zero income tax through 2027. A gradual rise in 2028 by 10% and 20%, 30% in 2030. Remember, we have a huge income tax here. But basically, you will now not pay income tax for income after for that is up to 1 million shekel a year, plus the existing 10-year exemption on foreign income. Basically, come here and we will not tax you for your work so that you can live in the land of Israel and set yourself up. So that is a pretty amazing thing. And I think it has something to do directly with the changes that are happening in the world. United States, we have, of course, the left, the Berkeley-style anti-Israelism, and now you have the new anti-Israelism on the right, and so Jews are being squeezed there. And Mamdani is now the mayor of New York, so New York Jews are not as comfortable, ostensibly. And so the Israeli government's saying, like, okay, it looks like we should be planning for a big Aliyah, which also goes to show you that the processes that are happening historically around the world right now are not just processes that we should analyze as the problem of let's say global jihad, like Tzvi Chazkeli says. Like, it's not just about bad guys; it's also about the ingathering. It's two things at once, right? It's two things at once. It's on the one hand, it's sad to see a city like New York fall to jihadism. Certainly a city that's been good to us, the Jewish people, and that we've been good to it by blessing it and helping it become what it is. So on the one hand, it's very sad. On the other hand, well, the Jewish people are coming home. And that's what's happening here. By the way, Israeli comedy troupe, Eretz Nehederet, they're like one of the best comedy troupes in Israel. They lean center left generally, but they are also extremely funny and extremely creative. They just came up with a new comedy skit, and that comedy skit is about how American Jews and Israeli Jews see each other. Let's watch this together and have a little bit of a laugh, because it's okay to have a laugh here this morning from the land of Israel. Again, I'm sending you blessings. Boker Tov. Boker Tov, everybody. Let's not get too uptight. God is with us. He's doing great things. Let's watch a little bit of comedy from Israel together.
Sorry. Ellie.
Jennifer!
God.
I can't believe this is where we meet.
You know us Jews. If history has taught us anything,
It's knowing when it's time to leave.
Yeah, God knows. I tried to stay as long as I could, but
One morning you wake up and you realize
it's not the same country you grew up in. Exactly.
Yeah, it's no longer safe for us to live here.
You mean there,
Where?
in New York?
Wait a second. You're telling me you're coming to Israel now? Are you crazy?
Wait, you're moving to New York? Now? Are you crazy? Did you see who just won the election?
At least you still have elections.
Trust me, it's just not safe for Jews anymore.
You literally came to the most dangerous place for Jews on the planet. My flight.
My taxi, yeah.
Okay, enjoy Israel. It's hell.
Enjoy New York. It's a nightmare. Good luck.
Am Yisrael Chai.
Am Yisrael Chai. What a klutz.
איזה אבלה.
Oh my gosh, that is just so funny. That is such a funny, the reason that's funny is because it's a truism, right? It's just a kind of true division amongst the Jewish people. Like sometimes we're just like people in Israel, like this place is hell. What's going on here? We have a crazy government. We have a crazy military. What's her name? The chief prosecutor, the JAG officer of the military is making Israel look like we're abusing Hamas terrorists and our own armies fighting against us. We allow all forms of corruption to take control of this land. It's hard to make a living here on the one hand. And then on the other hand, you got these New York Jews. They're like, it's over. We got to come back to the Holy Land and build up Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. And that's where I got to be going. And we kind of meet each other at the airport. It's funny. That clip is funny for anybody who knows Israel and knows the Jewish people. It's poignant because it makes fun of us. Like we're leaving the land of Israel. We're leaving New York. We meet each other in the middle. But the real truth is in the end that the girl is right. And that in that clip and that the guy who's leaving, where is he leaving to? I actually have noticed that a lot of Israelis are leaving a lot less because they just realize, where am I going to raise my kids now in New York? What? Florida is this last bastion. Have you ever noticed, by the way, that Florida is like this tongue in the middle of the Caribbean and that a big storm may come and just wash it away one day, God forbid. But my point is that like, it's also not the safest thing. Comes a new governor and a new spirit and takes over Florida. So now it's done. So you really have no place to run to anymore. And one way to analyze it is just to say how sad the reality of the world is. And the other way to see it is that God is gathering his children to the land of Israel, and we're building Jerusalem. I was in Jerusalem just the other day. What day is it today? Today is today Friday. I was there Wednesday with a camera crew and with Knesset member Ohad Tal and with the incredible hero Musab Hassan Yusuf. And we were filming, and there's going to be an amazing video that's going to come out in a few weeks. You're going to love it. It's going to tour you inside of the Kotel the Western Wall tunnels underneath the old city of Jerusalem. But the energy that I saw at the Western Wall was unbelievable. What an energy. Young people, kids, soldiers, tourists, all kinds of folks, just the energetic level of life. And that's the real truth. So the girl in the clip is more correct. The guys in the clip is right that we have to work hard to make Israel a better and safer place. Stop doing stupid things like giving away our land to our enemies. That's dumb. Don't do that. We got to do smart things like making the land of Israel more hospitable, less enemies, less jihad. So she's definitely right. Here's a little clip of Ohad Tal and myself. You'll see me a little bit, and Musab Hassan Yusuf in the old city of Jerusalem. And this is the just a prelude to the video that's going to come out here at Yishai Fleischer TV in a few weeks. Check this out. Wait, let's do this. There it is. Here we go.
נפגשתי הבוקר בירושלים עם מסב חסן יוסוף, הנסיך הירוק, בנו של מייסד חמאס ואחד הלוחמים האמיצים ביותר למען מדינת ישראל. הגענו כדי לחשוף יחד את האמת על הקשר היהודי לירושלים ולארץ הזו שהאסלאם הרדיקלי מבקש למחוק ולהעלים. מתחת לפני השטח מתרחשים תהליכים חסרי תקדים של הכרה בזכות של עם ישראל על ארצו.
We are in the midst of a war right now, and people are dying, there's bloodshed. But at least maybe we can take a moment to the creator of the bedrock and what's above it, to give us peace.
ביחד תדאג שהם יצופו בפני השטח.
Cool video. Okay, I like that a lot. That is a cool video, and you're going to see a great full featured film or video about the underneath of the old city, and you're going to have a lot of fun when you see it. And it's Musab Hassan Yusuf. By the way, my producer, I just want to say that we need to find footage, like 3D footage of the temple and underneath it. We need to find as much for the editing of that. We need to find as much clips that we could use to add to show people, how Jerusalem looked in the second temple, how it's going to look in the third temple. So there's a lot of issues there. Okay, my friends, we are live. Yocheved says, it is awesome in Israel. I've been here for a month and do not want to leave. Of course not. Jerusalem is awesome. And you know what else is awesome? The food. I don't know what it is. We have such amazing food. The food is just good. The best food is the food that Malka Fleischer makes. That's the truth. But the food in the restaurants is awesome. The energy is awesome. You come to Jerusalem, you're just like, there is an energy. You know what the biggest single dissonance, the single biggest distance between what people conceive and what reality is, the number one dissonance in the world is the dissonance between the majesty, beauty, power, and vivaciousness of Israel versus the perception of it. The bad guys are just like making it so scary. And the news yesterday, the Wall Street Journal called me. They're like, what about settler violence? Settler violence, settler violence. What about settler violence? I'm like, there's an uptick in settler violence. I'm like, where did you exactly hear that there's an uptick in settler violence? So she says to me, the UN issued a report. I'm like, it's another UN narrative to try to besmirch us. It's a lie. Stop with your, and then Wall Street Journal, who's supposed to be conservative papers, what about settler violence? I'm like, just leave it alone already. You want me to tell you about what we're building here, what's going on, the wondrousness of Jerusalem? Stop focusing on mini little baby fights. Oof. Somebody just gave a super chat, and the way super chats works is that when you support us through a super chat, I try to ensure that I read your chat, and also you support the show. So here's a good one. PHX6 gave $2 and wrote, temples never happening. Well, that's wrong, but thanks for your $2 though, bro, from Qatar or whatever, from Turkey or from China, one of the bots there. I don't know. The temples are happening. They happened and they're happening. By the way, one thing that happened with Musab Hassan Yusuf, we stopped into a store in the old city of Jerusalem, like one of the famous stores run by Moshe Kempinski. And there's a lot of cool Bible stuff in the store. One thing that I got Musab Hassan Yusuf to take, and the store owner gave him this as a present, is a map that was put out by National Geographic. I have it here on my wall as well, which shows the first temple, the second temple, and then the golden dome of the Dome of the Rock above it. So I thought to myself, that he could see one of his big issues is that how Islam has tried to erase the Jewish story and has stolen the Jewish story. By the way, Musab Hassan Yusuf had an amazing tweet the other day. Just one of the most important tweets I ever read about what Palestine really is. Really blew me away. And one of the reasons that I'm doing this show today is because there's so many little things that happen and that I want to talk about them. And it kind of it goes away fast, these issues. So just for a second, I'm going to stop here and talk about a tweet that Musab Hassan Yusuf put out. Let me put it on the screen. This is maybe one of the single most important tweets that I have seen about our situation here in the land of Israel. Let me read it to you. Global support for a phantom. billions back. They back what never was. He goes, Palestinian identity, borrowed bag of tricks. Kafia scarf, Iraqi roots, hijacked in the 70s. Flag, it's Jordan's stripes. No originality, right? It's just the Jordanian flag without a star. Name, Romans cooked up Palestine post the revolt in 135 of the Common Era, just to erase Judea. So the very name Palestine comes from a Roman name that they cooked up just to erase Israel. So the flag is fake. The kafia is fake. The land itself was claimed by Israel from 3,500 years ago. There's no ancient Palestine. There's no story of Palestine. There's no former king of Palestine. There's no coinage of Palestine. There's no cuisine of Palestine. History, the history that we learn about this area is the Jewish Bible, temples, kings. Palestinians had nothing. Capital, Jerusalem. Arabs never ruled it. They ruled it, but not as a capital. They controlled it, but it was never a capital of any of their empires. Arafat, Cairo-born Egyptian, self-proclaimed Palestinian. The narrative is created in the 60s. PLO coined the label, probably helped with the folks of the USSR, who were masters of creating narratives. So he finishes off. He says, if every piece of Palestine comes from somewhere else, for example, Jordan's flag, Iraqi scarf, Roman name, what's actually yours? And I think that's a very powerful critique of the concocted narrative of Palestine. So that's Musab Hassan Yusuf. Very good. Let's take a look a little bit at the news together, just so I could give you a sense of, share with you a sense of what's happening in Israel today. Let's take a look at what the folks of Arutz Sheva Israel National News are talking about today. Today, the big story is that Kazakhstan, which is a Central Asian country, is now joining the Abraham Accords. That's the big story. Actually, I think I have a video. Maybe I have a video of U.S. President Trump talking about this. So hold on, let me put that up for you. There's an important video of President Trump, and he's talking about widening out the Abraham Accords. Now, this Kazakhstan is already an ally of Israel, right? It has diplomatic relations with Israel, but it's a humongous country. It's like world's number 9 size country. It's massive. It's got strong oil and gas. It's about 70% Muslim, but they have good relations with Israel, and Trump is putting them under the Abraham Accords. Let's take a look here.
To report that Kazakhstan has officially agreed, and that's official now, as of about 15 minutes ago. A tremendous country with a tremendous leader has officially joined the Abraham Accords. And I just want to thank you, Mr. President. It's a great honor. It's a tremendous honor to have you. Really great.
Okay, so that's a really big deal. On the one hand, it's a big deal. On the poo-pooers could say it's not such a big deal because Kazakhstan was already in our sphere, and so it's just only excuse me, it's only declaratory. It's only kind of what's the word I'm looking for here? It's kind of something that was already there, and to say that that it's new is a little excuse me, it's a little funny on the one hand. On the other hand, it's a big deal. Kazakhstan is a humongous, mostly Muslim nation. Now they're part of the story. That's good news. That's really good news. Do I think that, it was worth giving half of Gaza to Qatar and to Turkey? No, not at all. Bad deal. And by the way, I have confirmation now of something that in Israel we knew, but now it's confirmed that it was the 20-point plan about Gaza was really written by Netanyahu and Dermer. And so this very bad plan is, as usual, a fruit of Israeli diplomacy. In any case, one of the things that they want to sell to us is that other countries are going to be joining the Abraham Accords. So here comes Trump letting us know that Kazakhstan is in. It's a big deal. And, we also send so listen, this is a very interesting question that Rabbi G 8104 writes. He writes, can Kazakhstan make room for all the Palestinian Arabs? Kazakhstan, that's a great question. I like that question a lot. Kazakhstan is actually one of the world's least densely populated countries. So there's plenty of room. They have a massive country, and there's only 20 million people that live there. Okay, so it's like the size of, I don't know, it's the size of Texas. It's humongous, and only 20 million people live there. So there's plenty of room. There's also plenty of welfare there, so people will do well. There's big business there. The only thing is, do we really want to send the jihadis? Not that all Palestinians are jihadis, but so many are. Do we really want to send them to this like kind of nice country which has a good relationship and a kind of non-jihadist attitude towards Israel? So I don't know about that. And also, option coach John says Turkey will be the next Iran. Bad mistake to give them strength. Folks, I want to remind you that Super Chats is a great way to support our show, and we appreciate it so much. And we're here early morning from the land of Israel, wishing you a Boker Tov and also a Shabbat Shalom. Let's wish you a Shabbat Shalom because Shabbat is coming, and we're preparing right now. We're going to prepare for Shabbat together in just a few minutes. Let's finish off the news. Let's put this on. Let's take this off the stage. Let's put this on the stage. Okay, let's just look for a second at today's important news. So we were talking about Kazakhstan joining the Abraham Accords. I think it's a great thing. I think it's very, very good. Even though it's kind of more of a PR stunt in the sense that Kazakhstan was already in, but good. Let them join the Abraham Accords. Let the record reflect that another Muslim country is part of the story. So that's great. Kazakhstan is in. That's important. What else did I want to read to you that's important? Pro-Israel lawmaker Stefanik to launch New York governor bid. That could be very good. Pope Leo meets Abbas. Let's take a look at this. All right. Pope Leo, the XIV. I guess it's the 14th. I still remember how to count in Roman. We Jewish people, we remember things like that. Pope XIV, is that like the new model of Pope? Meets PA Chairman Mahmoud Abbas. So Mahmoud Abbas is a murderer, a guy who has supported terror and has made, even from October 7th, new terrorist millionaires by paying for them, paying their families and paying them while they were in prison. So he's urging aid for Gaza, and he's urging a two-state solution. That's what Pope Leo's doing. Pope Leo, come on, man. Pope Leo. Sorry, a little bit of morning throat stuff. It's all right. The two discussed humanitarian aid for Gaza and the pursuit of the two-state solution to end the regional conflict. So I wonder, is Pope Leo just a useful idiot in the sense that a useful pope, in the sense that he just thinks that a two-state solution will work? Has he learned nothing from the Gaza thing, or is he just simply on the enemy side of things? This is one of his first kind of very public meetings that I have seen, and he's bringing a murderer and a mass murderer and a murder supporter to be his friend. Look at this amiable picture. These two gentlemen. Abbas arrived in Rome on Wednesday to mark the 10th anniversary of the comprehensive agreement between the Holy See and the state of Palestine. So when I read stuff like that, what do I think to myself? I can't but just think something simple, which is these people are the enemies of Israel. This Pope is the enemy of Israel. When I see that, and when I see him celebrating the state of Palestine, when he's welcoming a mass murderer, there's nothing for me to say, but he's on the wrong side. He's an enemy of Israel. That's the bottom line. Because for me, things are very simple in the sense that if you support Palestine, you are supporting the destruction, the effort to destroy Israel. Finally, I think in the news side, I want to talk just for a second about this this article, which says Smotrich, that's Minister of Finance to Arutz Sheva, he says, Mamdani or not, all Jews belong in Israel. Meaning to say you don't have to run from New York to come to Israel. Come to Israel because it's great, because it's the center of the Jewish world. So he has a vision for Aliyah, linking tax reforms to Zionism and growing diaspora challenges. And that's really true. That's really true. for us here in Israel, if we're going to talk about bringing the Jewish people home, our job is to make it more palatable, more livable, more accessible, more normal, more in line with standards that Jews are used to. So that's important. Yocheved, I see that we have a super chat. Oh, from Elizabeth. Elizabeth super chats and supports us. She's not saying a lot. I think she's just saying, Yishai, keep going. Bezrat Hashem, Am Yisrael Chai. We got to keep fighting. We got to stay together wherever we are. And not just the Jewish people have to stick together, but people who love Israel, love the Torah, love God, and love the whole story, and love the Bible, want to be part of it together. We've got to stick together. We got to stick together and be strong together. So I hear that, Elizabeth. Thank you very much. Your silence speaks volumes. So thank you very much for you, and God bless you. All right, now it's time. We have. I'm not going. This live stream is not like a huge long live stream. It's today's news. It's today's update. But what kind of update would I be giving you? You should be suing me for malpractice if I didn't give you a little bit of sweet Torah, right? Am I right, people? Let's just get a little bit of Torah before we go on our day, before we go to sleep. And the Torah portion that we're reading in this week's in the land of Israel, and all friends of Israel, and certainly friends of the Yishai Fleischer show on Yishai Fleischer TV, we all got. Oh, so Elizabeth does say something. Look what Elizabeth says. She says, Shabbat Shalom from Texas, y'all. Wait a minute. I need my hat. Where's my hat? Oh, sorry about that. The hat's not available right now. It's too far away. In any case, God bless you. Shabbat Shalom. We love you. Shabbat Shalom to my good friends in Texas. Really appreciate that. And I see in the chats that people helped me with the word that I was missing. Formality. Maybe it was a formality. I think it was declaratory. In any case, thank you very much, Elizabeth. Shabbat Shalom to you, and thank you for the support. Now, let's read a little bit of Torah together. Shall we, folks? Shall we? What happens when I press this button? Oh, I don't like that. No. Let's read from the Torah portion. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to read it to you in Hebrew a little bit. You know, if you go to Chabad.org, you see this button. You can hit English. You could hit both. Am I in both? There's both. And then you can read with Rashi commentary, which is one of our major commentators. And so you could get the commentary here as well. And that's at Chabad.org. You just go to the Torah portion of the week. Let's read this together and get into the atmosphere. This Torah portion has in it the twin stories, the birth of Isaac, and then the binding of Isaac, the near death of Isaac. We're just going to read a little bit from the birth of Isaac. Vayera elav, God appeared to Abraham. Vayera elav Hashem, that's those letters signify the tetragrammaton, the name of God, and we don't pronounce it, so we say the name. And God, Vayera elav Hashem be'elonei Mamre, God showed himself to Abraham in Elonei Mamre, which is in Hebron, the terebinths of Mamre, which is in Hebron. V'hu Yoshev, and Abraham is sitting, Petach ha'oel kechom hayom. He's sitting at the entrance of the tent, and it's a hot day. Our sages and our tradition explains that he was actually a third day after circumcision, but he's still waiting for guests because he loved guests so much. Vaisa'inav, and Abraham raised up his eyes, Vayar, and he saw, V'hineh shlosha anashim nitzavim alav. 3 people or 3 angels are coming towards him. Vayaratz likratam, and he saw them and he ran towards them. Mipetach ha'oel, from the entrance of the tent, vayishtachu arza, and they prostrated. He prostrated himself to them, or maybe they to him. Bottom line is they bowed to one another. Vayomar, and he says to them, Adonai, my lords, im na matzati chen be'einecha, if I have found favor in your eyes, al na ta'avor me'at avdecha, do not pass over your servant. Yukachna me'at mayim, take a little bit of water, rachatzu raglechem, wash your feet, visha'anu tachat ha'etz, and wash your feet, wash your legs from maybe the idolatry that you might be serving, say the sages, and lean under the tree. Come to my abode for a little bit, says Abraham. Let me welcome you in. V'kcha pat lechem, I'll take some bread, v'sa'adu libchem, and you could eat to your heart's content. Achar ta'avoru, and then you can leave. Al ken avartem al avdechem, that way that you are blessing me by passing through my household. Vayomru ken ta'aseh kasher dibarta, and they say to him, thus, yes, do as you have spoken. So we see now the amount of energy that Abraham puts into welcoming guests. We should all learn from these passages the love that Abraham had to welcome guests, and really that we should live a life accordingly to that, really to welcome in guests. And the purpose that Abraham had in welcoming guests was that he wanted to teach them and show them about God through his, in Russian we say gostye primi, welcoming in guests, right? He wanted to use that opportunity to teach people about God, because this was his, how do the folks say it? This was his ministry. His ministry was to stand at the crossroads and to teach. And it keeps going. Vayimaher Avraham ha'ohela. Abraham runs to the tent. El Sarah, to Sarah, his wife. Vayomer, and he says, Mahari, please hurry up. Solet, shlosh se'im kemach solet, lushi v'asiu got. Take 3 se'ah of flour, sift it, use some of the coarse flour to scrape clean the pot, and use the fine flour to bake. Knead the fine flour and make 3 loaves of bread. In any case, he says, honey, can you please make 3 quick loaves of bread? In those times, making bread was not, it didn't take so much time because you had the fire, and I've seen how the technique is. You can make pitas in just a few minutes. And he ran to the cattle, Ela Bakaratz Avraham, Vayikach ben Bakar, Rach Vatov. He takes a tender choice calf, and he asks the youth, which we explain as is Ishmael, to prepare it. Okay, in any case, I'll skip a little bit, and he comes back to the angels, and he wants to feed them, and they say to him, here's a very famous sentence, Vayomru elav, the angel said to him, Aye Sarah ishtecha, where is Sarah your wife? That's a weird thing for 3 men to say. Vayomer hine ba'ohel. He says, yes, behold, she is in the tent. Vayomer, and the angel said to him, Shov ashuv elecha ke'et chaya. I will surely return to you this in a year from now, this time next year. Vihine ben lesara ishtecha. Behold, Sarah, your wife, will have a son. V'Sara shomat petach ha'oel. Sarah hears these things because she's standing at the entrance of the tent. V'hu acharav. And behind Abraham, it's a tricky translation actually. In any case, then the Torah tells us that Abraham and Sarah were old. They had already, they're aged, and Sarah's no longer have women's menstrual cycles. And then it says, Vatitzchak Sarah bekirba. Sarah laughed within her heart, saying, shall my skin become smooth after I've become aged and old? V'adoni zaken, and my husband's old as well. We're not able to have children. And then God says to Abraham, why is it that Sarah laughed? Why did she laugh? Can I really give birth? I'm already too old. And here's the key phrase, Haipale me'adonai davar lemoed ashuv elecha ke'et chaya u'lesara ben. Can anything be stopped? Is anything too wondrous for God to achieve? Any miracle too big for God? Lemoed, I will come to you in a year's time, ke'et chaya, which is the way we translate that is in 1 year's time. U'lesara ben, Sarah is going to have a son. And so the story, the reason this is such a big deal is because Sarah and Abraham are promised to have children, but it became so late in their life that they no longer believed that they could have children, and yet the miracle came. Says Jeremy Crawford, blessed is the barren womb. Indeed. And then Isaac comes on, and the reason that Isaac is a big deal is because Isaac symbolizes and signifies Jewish continuity. He is a miracle. Isaac is a miracle, and therefore you understand the end of the Torah portion, what's called the inclusio, the back-to-back. The other side of that is that the binding happens, and almost takes Isaac out of the picture. God wanted to show Abraham, the way Rabbi Sachs explains it is he says that God wanted to show Abraham that he doesn't want child sacrifice. And therefore, the whole binding is in order to show the world that God refuses child sacrifice, which was very prevalent at the time then. Personally, that explanation does not do it for me. And I'm going to give you my explanation. And with that, we'll sign off for today's live. The explanation of the binding actually is very scary and eye-opening and like will send a shiver down your spine. I think what God was telling Abraham is that indeed the Jewish story will be filled with the binding. Every generation that we give birth to will face challenges in the effort to destroy the Jewish people. October 7th is something that has happened to us over and over again, and the Holocaust and the challenges. The world is jealous of Israel. The world rejects God. The world wants to destroy Israel. Not everybody, certainly not people watching the Yishai Fleischer TV channel here. No, we love God, but we know that the Jewish people are challenged. And so what God was saying to Abraham was that, yes, your children will always be challenged. This binding is actually a preview of the way the Jewish story is going to keep going. It's sad and it's hard, but there will be a reckoning. There will be justice, and there will be a time when the world will see that the Jewish people are channeling godliness into this world, and the hate will stop. But throughout the normal part of human history, the Jewish people will be persecuted and challenged, and you're going to have to know that I will save you, I will protect you in every generation. And the binding is basically the binding is the Passover story. The binding is you will be persecuted in Egypt and in other places, even on your land. They will try to destroy you until such a time as I bring the full redemption and the redemption process. We can, of course, speed it up by being smart and not doing stupid policies that will hurt us. We got to push back on the enemies. You know, God also tells us on the one hand that in every generation we're challenged, like the binding. On the other hand, if you want to limit those challenges, destroy your enemies, I've given you the opportunity and the strength to do so. The IDF is a gift from God. It's God's long arm. Destroy your enemies. Protect your people. Make sure that not one hair on one head gets hurt. That's also part of the promise. I will give you strength. And all you have to do, Jewish people, when you have that strength, is revert it back to God. Just give him the credit. You want to hear the secret sauce formula? God gives you strength. God gives you strength, and all you have to do is thank God and say to him, you did it. You've given us this power. You've given us the strength, and we thank you, and we are so grateful for this great time of the return of the Jewish people to the land of Israel. All right, folks, I want to wish you lots of love and lots of blessings from the land of blessings. Thank you to all the people from around the world that have been with me on this short live. Thank you very much to my producer, Yo, for being up with me early here in the land of Israel. Boker Tov. Good morning. Buenos dias. Okay, shalom. Dobre utra from the land of Israel. We're sending you blessings and a good night if that's what you're where you're at. I wish you lots of blessings and good sleep and good dreams of good things, because God's dream is coming to fruition in our time. God bless you, folks, from the good land, from the land of Israel, and Shabbat Shalom. Don't forget that you are also meant to have a spiritual day on Shabbat. You don't have to keep the full Sabbath like the Jewish people, but Shabbat is, in a sense, for everybody. It's a day to recognize the Lord, to spend time with your family, to read the Bible, to read the Torah, to get closer to him, to be more Abrahamic, to be part of the international Torah community wherever you are. God bless you, folks. Thank you for all the good messages, and shalom from the land of Israel, and blessings.